in the 21st century, we are making great strides forward in finding alternative sources of power for automobiles. Because of course these days we're aware that the internal combustion engine causes colossal amounts of pollution. But this isn't exactly a new idea, and even back as far as the 1920s, you had various companies sort of experimenting with different forms of power. Now what this vehicle is, it's a kind of rare vehicle. This is a Stanley steamer, a steam car. Frederick Stanley, the guy who owned the company, is actually unusual for another reason. Later in life, he was not a well man, and his doctors told him to get out of town, go and live in the country. Didn't want to be idle, so he built a big hotel at the foot of the Rockies, the Stanley Hotel. About 40, 50 years later, a guy called Stephen King stayed in the Stanley Hotel. If you've seen the film The Shining, the hotel in The Shining is actually the Stanley Hotel. And the Stanley was quite an efficient car. It uses petrol. There's a petrol burner underneath, but petrol, just like a steam engine, is burnt to produce steam. The steam car, I mean, it's well engineered, it's well put together, but it's never popular. In fact, it's designed to look like a conventional internal combustion engine car. Why didn't they take off? Well, I think a couple of reasons. Firstly, the fact that when you start the thing up first thing in the morning, it's going to take you 30 or 4 minutes to actually build up steam to heat the thing up enough. But I think people were also very wary of the idea of the fact that the boiler might go off bang. There's no evidence of that ever happening because the Stanley was very well engineered. There's a safety valve that would blow out before the boiler went anywhere near an explosion. But I think people were mistrustful of them, and that's the reason why this concept never actually took off.